Help, I'm scared. Okay. Whew. What the fuck is happening? Early in the morning, someone went to the... I'm gonna say... Lazarus Hearst. Went to because wanted the golden idol is where I would gesture at. We know that Lazarus isn't here. Lazarus has not been back for several hours. Comrades Alistair and James have gone to find him. James Turner and Alistair Koch. Went out to try and find Lazarus Hearst. It's a bit of a little hunting mission when they put them, like, once they get redeemed in one place, they disappear from down here, and so it comes to like a little scavenger hunt to find them again sometimes. Instead, they found the golden idol at the something. On the way back, they started to fight over it. And then Alistair Koch killed James Turner. He went to the blah blah blah. Hang on a minute. His name is Lazarus. Been wondering about this character that just came back from the dead. Is EC Lazarus? I think he is. I found that odd all the way back here that he just suddenly dies when he seemed to have a pretty good plan. And then this new character shows up that we've never seen before. So this is still EC, which is verified by the fact that he gives the EC hanky away all these years later, like he still has it. And he has this journal that's embroidered with his name too, that he's still sticking with. Like, it's weird that he'd have so many things that separately still say EC. At first I was willing to think that the hanky might just be a weird keepsake from before. But the two characters would have never met each other as far as we knew. But yeah, they're just the same person. He's been scheming all along, and he's been alive this entire time. This is Willard Wright. So this guy probably got killed for the idol, and then Willard Wright was then killed at the inn. And from then on, EC had the idol, And they tried to kill him here. And then again. And they still didn't get him, but then he changed his name. And he was younger now because he sucked the life out of someone, I guess. And so now the younger him is called Lazarus. As in Back from the Dead, which is a very poignant, or a very on-the-nose name. There's so much going on here. Okay, well that's cool to set that straight. But where did Lazarus actually go? He didn't signify where he was going to go. I don't know what that little symbol means specifically. Their ultimate goal was to go to the castle. It's really weird to say you took 32 things from me when they meant return 32 years. Just a weird omission that's just for puzzle's sake. I don't think I found much about where Alistair went. This guy's dead. Everyone's wearing fucking helmets, so any of them could be dead characters we know. I'm thinking that this could be James Turner. They're dressed the same. So at the crossroads. James Turner and Alistair Cock try and find Lazarus Hearst. Instead they found the golden ideal. The golden idol at the crossroads. On the way back they started to fight over it. Alistair Cock killed James Turner at the crossroads. Maybe not the crossroads themselves. There's just a horse running around in the background. What is he doing out here? Worry not and continue the feast, wife. Nothing can stand in my way. I will kill our enemies wherever we go. Have you killed your enemies, though? Okay, so Lazarus wanted... to kidnap the ideal wife? Because EC was in love with the wife, and going by what we have to go on here, I'm guessing... Let's see. At the islet? Went to the islets to... fight... Peter Batley. Because Lazarus Hearst might have been a bit of a leap. Early in the morning, Lazarus Hearst went to the islets to fight Peter Batley because Lazarus Hearst wanted to kidnap the ideal wife. Find. Kidnap. We need her name. Mary Richards. Kidnap Mary. I guess it's Mary Batley because they're white. They're married now. There's no Richards, right? Peter Turner Nichols, Mary. I think they're married now. Wife. So her name's Batley now. I'm on the right track there. Okay. Did they go to the islet though? That might be his horse. I have some small but pressing business to attend to at the property of our late brother Sebastian, the previous proud beast steward. Sebastian. Was that from the first chapter? Sebastian Cloudsley. So I believe we're calling that the Manor. Ooh! That's what that note was about. So that was his horse. That's what's going on there. I'm able to... So once you realize that he's EC, this all starts to make sense again. Because the two of them are both separately pining after her. So after all this, he died for this reason. Completely went off task right in the middle of this biggest engagement. Yep, Lazarus just went and got himself killed. And they're just drinking and having a panic right there. They're probably not having a great day. Alright, so... Peter Batley killed Lazarus Hearst at the Manor? Okay. We're getting there. Alistair... Oh, this is also all correct. So Alistair Koch killed James Turner at the crossroads. We're right about that much too. Because I guess he had the golden idol. They found it at the Manor. Yep. He would have died at the Manor with his men. That's the pile of bodies for the gambled away cannon. So they found it at the Manor, and then on their way back they got to the crossroads and he killed the other one to steal it. So after all this, Peter Batley, the continually underappreciated, or I don't know, underestimated or diminished character, ended this entire, like, seemingly ended this entire fascism just as a concept, just all of the leadership taken out because he just like drunkenly like gambled and he won a gamble, got a cannon, and then just drunkenly ambushed the leader. Just broke the idol, and the idol's broken now. What an ending to this entire storyline. He's been around since the very beginning too. Before storming the king's castle with the Order party, Lazarus Hearst led his men to Sebastian Cloudsley's old manor in order to kidnap his long-lost love, Mary Batley, née Richards. Née means previously, I think, not her name was Née. N-E-E, that's new for me. previously known as, named I don't know, who was hiding there with her husband, Peter Batley. Upon entering the manor, Lazarus and his troops were confronted by a drunk Peter and the cannon he had won while gambling. Peter blew up Lazarus, breaking the idol, and then fled the scene with Mary. Thank you for playing. I have defeated the game. Yeah, down with virtues. I mean, have virtues, but not the ones that they called virtues. Hey, weren't you with the order party? Oh, no, no, no. I was never part of that ghastly organization. He lied. He did. I can take this gilded brass trinket for scrap metal. You can have 3 sous for it and call yourself lucky. So they're trading in the golden idol and it's useless now. There's your ending of the entire thing. That was neat. There's probably an awkward cut where it sounds like I'm doing an intro for a new episode a little bit. I hedged my bets a little bit, but I thought I was going to have to do 2 episodes for this level, but then it actually came together pretty quickly, so I guess this is 1 episode thing with where I literally like stopped recording, got up, walked away for a bit, and then came back to settle down for my final episode, because I'm like, well, it took me half an hour to get the first third done, so the next 2 will probably take me another half an hour. Nope. This was neat. I like that it was a riff on ideas that happened in Return of the Obra Dinn. I don't know if it's literally inspired by that game and began development afterwards, or if it was already in development before, or what its backstory is. I don't know anything about it. But it definitely feels like there are moments where they acknowledge it, like they were aware of it, and elements of it might have been inspired at some point in development, at the very least, but maybe I'm making that up. I like that it doesn't just recreate that concept. Like, for example, there are like a lot of like Rhythm Heaven is a game, and Rhythm Heaven is a game that people liked, but seemingly won't ever happen again. And so you have like a bunch of Rhythm Heaven fan games like Melatonin and whatnot, and they all, a lot of them kind of just look like Rhythm Heaven again in some cases, maybe with a little art style change. I did appreciate that this one had its own approach to the entire concept of the Return of the Obra Dinn, like paused detective storyline, non-linear time travel detective story thing. I guess I need to add this to the playlist. I have some kind of like non-linear detective time thing. I think the games I put into it were Unheard, Return of the Obra Dinn, and The Sexy Brutale, I think, are in there. So there's a few different games I've played that have some kind of version of like that, where you're kind of manipulating time to investigate a storyline. Same thing with the Tacoma. This one doesn't have that one as much in that you don't jump around in time, although being able to review all the previous ones at the end is helpful, it's just a handy tool for remembering who the fuck people are and so on. This one was very much, here's just a frozen sequence of events. Here's a frozen moment where someone is dead, and they all happened in chronological order, as opposed to the strangeness of how Obra Dinn worked. But definitely a very similar overall setup. I enjoyed that in particular, that game told the story of like, I don't know, let's say a month or a few months of sailing travel. So you were in one location and seeing the series of events and piecing together the order in which they happened and figuring out which characters were alive when over the course of that. This one, it was a series of events that took place over the course of several locations over the course of years, where the characters and the setting are changing, and there's lots where you get to intuit elements of like how the magic works, how the setting works, what the characters were up to. And even a reveal there about how like that character was actually that character, and you could have guessed that sooner, but eventually you do have to realize that that character is that character because it's required in order to solve the final quest. That's a really clever little idea, to have a twist, don't explain the twist, and then just have the realization, the aha moment, be mandatory. Like, in order to beat the game, you have to have that aha moment on your own at some point, which means the game doesn't take it from you. Because if the game just tells you, then you're just like, ah, okay, that guy came back and called himself this now. But if they leave it completely to you to discover it whenever you happen to discover it, maybe it clicks for you immediately, maybe it slowly dawns on you, or maybe you get to do what I did and you get to this mission and you're like, okay, hang on a minute. And then you land there, because you can only solve the story of why he went where he went and what was going on with those characters if you realize who he actually is, because it's not actually explained anywhere that that's exactly what's happening. You need to make the leap at some point yourself, and that's good. Anytime that you can make the player do it themselves, that's always a good thing. I feel like I kind of explained this in my video essay about Ad Astra, but it's just like, it's one of the best signs of investment that in a player is when they start asking questions themselves and making connections on their own instead of just what they're told to, and so on. I don't know. It's neat. This was a good time. Also pretty short. That's the bummer sometimes, is trying to get to all these games as they come out, and they're all spread out. You're like, oh man, can I have them back actually? Can I have more all the time, please? Apparently there's an epilogue. Maybe this is the final, maybe this is an extra final episode and I'm double wrong again, because something's going on here. Oh, hello, look. Ah, yeah, we saw that already. Maybe there is more. The grand vision of a better world. 27 already captured. Is this when they agreed to all work together in the first place? Oh, it's him getting younger. So here's the reveal, but you can only have this reveal after you already solved the previous storyline that requires you to notice that. Why does his head get taller though? That's a weird visual. Witness the power of the idol in my hands and swear loyalty to Lazarus Hearst. We will build the ideal society. This guy was always a shithead. The Brotherhood of Masks. Only one thing is worse than imbeciles. Imbeciles with power. The rich and noble have a social club with mystical rituals and other hogwash that are so stupid that they did not realize what they when they had some truly miraculous technology in their hands. However, they are influential and persistent, and have already caused a great deal of harm to me and my goals. Walter Keane has told me more about their organization and practices. If he tells the truth, and they are truly devoted to their religious entity, the Griffin Reborn, I should gain some powerful allies for my next move. Order Party manifests to 1. All citizens are equal. No. Oh, manifesto, not manifest 2. 2. All citizens must serve society to the full extent of their abilities. 3. Citizens must be evaluated according to how virtuous they are. 4. A society with internal contradictions is unsustainable. Therefore, it must be led by the most virtuous citizen. The king should step down and aristocracy should be abolished. They definitely did not work this way in practice. 5. The more virtuous citizens are better that are able to serve society, therefore virtuous citizens deserve to gain more time on this earth, and bad citizens deserve to lose time. This is very much like a naive, like, Death Note sort of like wish fulfillment approach to organizing society. You can see how they would potentially land on some of this stuff, but he's just kind of a jackass ultimately. But we very much know that all citizens were not equal. The fact that a guy who already had a castle could trade that in for 200 years of life was not fair. And also the punishments were just hilariously nonsensical. The laws didn't make any sense. It wasn't like, notably, there wasn't even specifically one about killing anyone. I guess killing someone is just itself like a strong emotional response, so it's worth 7 points. You know, just like sleeping with somebody else's wife, same level of cost. Or even just any level of, like, propositioning someone rudely is the same price as killing someone, seemingly, in that law system. This is unbelievable. My pure Mary is joined in matrimony with that clown, Peter Batley. She must have done it out of the grief for my death. You incel weirdo, just obsessed with somebody that you probably never cared about you. Such a hasty decision goes against every principle of virtue, therefore I consider the marriage null and void. Oh, of course you do. She will come to me once she learns that I still live, but for now my duties in the service of humanity take precedence. So he was just delusional. Society must be built on the principles of virtue, only thus can it become truly great. Look at the Lemurians. Thousands of years ago, they had an empire on the banks of the seven seas. Their ancient technology continues to baffle modern science, but they became inert and decadent and forgot how to build and operate their machines. That's a nonsensical interpretation of another society. Their empire crumbled because it was built on pleasure-seeking, not virtue. It is by divine providence that I got my hands on the working ancient Lemurian artifact, the Golden Idol. I will use its powers to set humanity on the right path and build the ideal state. Jesus Christ, this entire game is like the world brought to you by Jordan Peterson. Like, good thing he didn't ever become leader of the entire world. I swear it, yes. With all these powers, I will do whatever is necessary to build a better world. So the leaders are James Turner, Angus McBain, and Alistair Koch. Those two became big players. This one died. Walter Keane, Jeffrey Sinclair, Sebastian Cloudsley dead. Ah. He did have a ring. Chester Davy, Nicholas Maker. So Nicholas was always there too. Willard Wright is also deceased. I feel like we never met Chester Davy. Yes, my lord. I swear my loyalty to you and will undertake whatever tasks are required of me. It's funny to me how many times they reused this exact face, seemingly. Like the exact expression and angle. It makes him recognizable, I guess. So, which can be an obstacle at times. David, I thank you for dealing with all the challenges relating to my death and for keeping an eye on our new ally. I do feel I have impressed him not only with the Golden Idol, but also with my vision of the ideal society. Come to our hideout on November 24th. We are ready for the next step. Like, this guy was much harder to recognize because he looked completely different from scene to scene. Like, the first time we saw him, he, like, had a ponytail and was exploding. Was it the first time we seen him? Every certain claim I make, I feel like, is always at risk of being embarrassingly wrong because somebody knows, actually, that character was in the previous mission. They just wasn't important to the story or something. Who died out there? This man is not breathing. Half-empty bottle of gin. Donate to a veteran who lost his leg in the noble defense of his homeland. No! Guys! Help! A veteran's just dying outside. Where's your just society now? I guess that's the death that justifies the scene, because there always has to be one. Oh my fucking god! Help. 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 I thought it was just gonna be a cute little thing, like, Lazarus is EC. Just like as a... just to punctuate it. Holy okay. Blah blah left the blah to the blah in his will, but that... so Sebastian Cloudsley. We're starting at the beginning, I guess, right? Sebastian Cloudsley left the idol to the order in his will, but then blah blah on Blah's orders stole the idol and accidentally stabbed Blah. Ash Blair is not here, right? Yeah, he always had the ring. Is this the same kid? Figured it was. Maybe, I don't know. This is difficult to parse just because of the sheer timeline. Recovered the idol, but his attempts were fruitless. The Blah tasked the Order or the Brotherhood? Shit. During one attempt, Blah Blah was captured and Blah Blah convinced him to join his side. So Walter Keane. Walter Keane and Edmund Cloudsley. I have the name right? Yeah. Walter Keane was captured and Edmund Cloudsley convinced him to join his side. Edmund Cloudsley used the idol to make himself young and infiltrated the Order. Wait. Order and Brotherhood are both used. Fuck. Maybe they both count? Infiltrated the Order under the new identity of Lazarus Hearst. Hearst sounds like a hearse, which carries bodies. He then claimed to be the Griffin reborn and transformed the Brotherhood into the Order party. I guess this is Brotherhood. There we go. I'm like, Order is also used, you dudes. But Order party narrows that down. Okay, we got that metal down. So this means this starts here. So this accounts for the first 4? Willard Wright was stabbed on accident, right? This was a poisoning. But then Blah Blah on Blah Blah orders and accidentally stabbed Willard Wright. His attempts were fruitless. That note doesn't have a name on it. Did they seriously throw... Did they throw the idol to Little Pip? Is that what's being implicated here? What the fuck? Let's see. James Turner and Alastair Koch helped Lazarus Hearst seize power in the country and enforce the rule of virtues by taking youth away from common people and giving it to the Order party members. right before the final showdown with the uncooperative king, Lazarus Hearst wanted to kidnap Mary Batley, but was shot by Peter Batley, and the idol was broken. Okay. Oof. They definitely wanted to punish Sebastian Cloudsley and recover the idol. They tasked Walter Keane with doing it, I guess? He's the one that was hunting him. I think this was David Gorin. On Edmund Cloudsley orders? No. Sebastian Cloudsley left the idol to the Brotherhood. Sebastian Cloudsley left the idol to the Brotherhood in his will, but then David Gorin, on Edmund Cloudsley's orders, stole the idol and accidentally stabbed Willard Wright. The Brotherhood tasked Walter Keane to punish Sebastian Cloudsley and recover the idol, but his attempts were fruitless. This uses every name, but something's wrong. And I think it might be here. Lord George Bridges. The Brotherhood of Masks. You failed to answer our requisition. This is the last warning you will receive. Your transgressions against us demand amends. The only course of action you have is to surrender yourself to our justice. Last chance of repentance, serpent. Or we will unleash one of our stewards upon you. Walter Keane was the steward, right? This is Walter Keane, and there's his steward, Mark. So that part seems correct. That violin, Navaja folding blade. This is Ash Blair. But is Ash Blair also an assumed name? Because we never hear about Ash Blair ever again, right? Doesn't that seem like that's Ash Blair? Little mustache. Does he have a mustache in this scene? Oh, yeah, that's Ash. Interesting. I think all the way back then, I was like... I thought this was different. I thought they would... I think at some point back then I called out that they were the same person, but didn't recognize that they also had different names. I don't think you can do every fourth word here. But it's definitely the same person. That's right here. Something's wrong. Sebastian Cloudsy left the idol to the Brotherhood in his will. But then David Gorin on Edmund's Cloudsley orders stole the idol and accidentally stabbed Willard to right. The Brotherhood tasked Walter Keane to punish David Gorin? Oh, it said Sebastian Cloudsley, which is the guy from the first level, not Edmund Cloudsley, the one the whole game's about. I was like, this is all checking out. What am I fucking up? It's so, with the grading system, it's so easy to get something really dumb wrong and not register which specific thing on the list is slightly off. There we go. All right. Well, I kind of summed up my thoughts, and that was just one last finale to make sure you successfully solved the entire thing, and we did. So we were able to put it all together. I don't think I had to learn. I don't think I had to even figure anything out, right? I mainly had to. At this point, we in order to finish the last mission, we had to realize who Edmund Cloudsley was and who Lazarus was. This one required me to make sure I realized that Ash was always David. So that was just a fake character. Something we had to get used to a little bit eventually, or just kind of stumble through, was the fact that you were forced to use people's assumed names if they had them, because a few people just change identities and you just have to deal with that. And everything else we pretty much knew. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been the case of the Golden Idol. Thanks for watching like always, guys, and next time we'll find out what game Patreon chose next. See ya.